The archaeological team stood before the obsidian structure, their scanning equipment humming uselessly against its surface. For 3 standard months, the Galactic Confederation's finest, xenoarchaeologists had attempted to breach what they now called the Silent Vault, a monolithic structure discovered on the abandoned world of Kepler 442b. Dr. Veshka, a Valorian scientist whose crystalline exoskeleton refracted the dim light of the distant star, manipulated her holographic interface with increasing frustration. Nothing, absolutely nothing penetrates this material. It's as if the structure exists slightly out of phase with our reality. Her colleague, a multi-limbed Kashari named Throne, clicked his mandibles in agreement. The dating puts it at approximately 10,000 years old, pre-Confederation era, before any known spacefaring civilization in this sector. Except one, whispered Mira Chen, the human consultant who had been observing silently from the edge of the excavation site. All eyes turned to her. Humans were a recent addition to the Confederation, their species having achieved faster-than-light travel only 2 centuries prior. They were considered technologically primitive by most standards, though their adaptability had earned them a cautious respect. Mira approached the vault, her fingers trembling as she touched its surface. The structure stood 30 meters tall, perfectly smooth except for a single panel at ground level. My ancestors left Earth during what we called the First Exodus, 10,000 years ago when our sun began its irregular expansion period. Impossible, Veshka said. Humans didn't possess FTL technology 10 millennia ago. Our records were lost, Mira interrupted, her voice steady. When Earth's electromagnetic infrastructure collapsed, we've always wondered where the first fleet went. 20 colony ships carrying humanity's greatest minds and most advanced technology. They were never heard from again. She knelt before the panel, brushing away millennia of dust. Beneath lay symbols that made her heart race. Ancient pictographs that resembled Proto-Sanskrit mixed with mathematical notations. The Confederation has 17 protocols for first contact with precursor artifacts, Throne noted, his translator rendering his clicks into standard. None involve unverified genetic matches. I'm not asking permission, Mira said softly. She placed her palm against the panel. For a moment, nothing happened. Then a deep vibration resonated through the ground. The panel illuminated with soft blue light and a geometric pattern emerged, a double helix structure rotating slowly. Biometric scan detected, a voice echoed from within the vault. The language was Old English, distorted by time but unmistakable. DNA markers consistent with Homo sapiens. Structural variation indicates 10,000 years of genetic drift. Probability of descendant lineage, 99.7%. The massive doors began to open with a pneumatic hiss that suggested impossibly well-preserved mechanisms. Veshka's sensor array nearly exploded with data. The power source. It's still active after 10,000 years. Whatever technology this is, it's beyond anything in our current database. Inside, the vault was vast. Holographic displays flickered to life, showing star charts, genetic databases, and technical schematics that made Throne's multiple eyes widen in disbelief. But Mira's attention was drawn to the center chamber, where a single stasis pod stood beneath a shaft of light. The pod was empty, but a holographic message played above it. A woman in her 50s wearing a uniform bearing the symbol of Earth's United Nations Space Command. If you're seeing this, the hologram said, then you are human and you have found us. I am Captain Sarah Chen, commander of the First Fleet. We came to this world seeking refuge, but we found something more. A purpose. The hologram gestured, and the walls displayed images of a younger galaxy, ravaged by an ancient war. We discovered evidence of a coming threat, an intelligence that consumes entire civilizations, that learns and adapts with each species it destroys. It operates on timescales of millennia. We calculated its arrival in this galaxy at approximately 10,000 years from our landing. Mira felt her blood run cold. It's here now. We couldn't stop it, Captain Chen's message continued. But we could prepare. This vault contains everything, our technology, our knowledge, our biological samples. We scattered similar vaults across 100 worlds, hoping that our descendants would find them when the time came, that humanity would survive, would thrive, would be ready. The hologram's expression softened. We sacrificed faster than light travel for this. We used everything we had to build these vaults to seed the warning. We knew we would never see Earth again. But we hoped.
We believed
that 10,000 years would be enough time for humanity to grow strong. She saluted. Good luck, descendants. Make the First Fleet proud. The message ended and the vault systems fully activated. Weapon schematics, shield technology, tactical analysis of the ancient threat. All of it flooding into the archaeological team's databases. Veshka stared at Mira with a mixture of awe and fear. Your ancestors, they gave up everything. They gave us a chance, Mira corrected, her voice thick with emotion. She looked at the empty stasis pod, understanding now what it meant. Captain Chen and her crew had remained behind, guarding the vaults until their natural lives ended, ensuring the systems would endure. Throne was already transmitting data to the Confederation Council. This changes everything. If the threat is real, it's real, Mira said, accessing the vault's long-range sensors. On the holographic display at the edge of the galaxy, something massive and dark was moving. And we have work to do. She turned to her colleagues, seeing humanity's ancient sacrifice reflected in their expressions. The First Fleet had bought them 10,000 years. Now it was time to prove that humanity, and their Confederation allies, were worth saving. The vault had recorded its last command 10,000 years ago. But today it had found its purpose once more, not as a tomb but as humanity's gift to the future. A future that would be defended no matter the cost.